Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Casey and I post a new video every single week on a missing person case that hasn't received very much attention, or maybe it's older and just hasn't been talked about in a while. So I actually was not going to upload a video this week. Last week's video on 2-year-old Tika Lewis really took its toll on me. All the cases get to me, but the ones with kids are especially hard, so I was going to take a break. But this little boy that we're going to talk about today has been heavy on my mind, and I felt I had to cover it because I feel like a lot of people local to Montezuma, Iowa, where he disappeared from, know about it, but outside of that, I don't feel like it's too well known. And it's a very recent case that was suggested to me by one of my wonderful subscribers, so we're going to talk about it today. 11-year-old Xavier Harrelson is missing from rural Montezuma, Iowa, and he has been missing for over 2 weeks now. He was reported missing on May 27th of this year, 2021. Now, I have heard his name pronounced Xavier in some news media videos, but in an interview with one of his teachers, she pronounced it Xavier, so we're going with that since I'm pretty sure she would know. Xavier lives in the Spruce Village Trailer Park with his mother, Sarah Harrelson, in Montezuma, and from what I understand, his mom is an amputee who relies on Xavier for a lot of help. He has to assist her in putting on her prosthetic leg. Apparently, she can't get around too well, so she depends on him for a lot of day-to-day things. Now, neighbors heard very loud yelling coming from inside the Harrelson home on May 26th, the night before Xavier was reported missing. The argument between Xavier and his mother started around 8 p.m. and went on for about 20 minutes before it just went quiet. Apparently, the sound of screaming matches coming from the home was pretty common, said by neighbors to happen weekly. Despite this, neighbors also say that Xavier and his mom had a loving relationship and were very close. Xavier could usually be seen outside fairly early in the day. He's normally outside by 8 or 9 a.m. riding his bike or playing with friends that he has in the trailer park. But on Thursday, May 27th, no one saw him, and by later in the afternoon that day, Xavier's mom, Sarah, was calling multiple neighbors and parents of Xavier's friends asking if they had seen him, but everyone was saying they hadn't. Now, by 4 p.m., when she was making these calls, neighbors were telling her she needed to call police and report him missing, which I absolutely agree needed to be done, but she wouldn't do it. From what I've read, she flat out refused to get law enforcement involved, which in my opinion is weird. But in her defense, maybe she thought he was just mad at her and would be home soon. Perhaps she didn't want to create alarm or panic when she wasn't sure it was needed. It's also a possibility that she didn't want cops at her house for a certain reason. She does have a past. She has had charges before for drugs and child endangerment. The Department of Child Services has been involved with the family before. Now, I'm not trying to bash her by saying that, but I do feel it's important to know that stuff when it comes to a missing child's parents. Only Sarah knows her reasoning for not wanting to report it right away. I myself would have called, but everyone's panic level is different. Mine is pretty high. I tend to have flip outs when it comes to my babies and their safety. Now, a fellow resident of the mobile home park who is also the mother of one of Xavier's friends named Samantha Ricks is actually the person that reported Xavier missing and got the ball rolling in trying to find him. Samantha has kind of taken the lead in all of this because Xavier's mom, Sarah, is not speaking to the media. She has plenty to say on social media, which I'm not going to get into all that in this video, but like I said, she's not talking to the media. As of the time of me shooting this video, she isn't posting any of Xavier's missing flyers publicly on her Facebook page either. But police say she is cooperating, as is Xavier's father, Travis. Now, Travis isn't speaking to the media on camera either, but he is posting his son's missing flyer like crazy, and he has been helping to search for him. It has been said that the family has been told not to speak to the media. However, I have not heard that reported in any of the news clips that have aired, or at least the ones I've seen. So that could be why we haven't seen them on the news, if they have indeed been told not to give interviews. Now, reports were initially stating that Xavier was last seen on his bike at 11 a.m. that morning of May 27th, but it hasn't been said who last saw him. The concerning thing with that is Xavier has 2 bikes, and both of his bikes are at home. And neighbors and friends in the trailer park have said none of them reported that or saw Xavier at all that day. Residents of the trailer park say they last saw him on the afternoon of Wednesday, the 26th, playing outside in front of a trailer before the screaming match in his home broke out. Xavier's home, as well as the other trailers and vehicles in the Spruce Village mobile home park, have been searched with canine units, some more than once. Now, whether or not anything was found has not been released. Xavier's birthday is May the 30th, so he was 10 when he disappeared, but turned 11 just 3 days after he went missing. On his birthday, around 375 volunteers and 125 police and first responders searched through areas in Poweshiek County, and they also searched Diamond Lake Park, which is only about a mile away from the mobile home village. The park is 660 acres of land and also has a big 90-acre lake, which was searched with 2 dive teams. They have used airplanes and drones for aerial searches, ATVs on the ground. I believe they even had people out on horseback, and they haven't found a thing. Investigators have stated that they are confident that they have checked every place he could have gotten to on his own, so they do not believe he is still in the area close to his home. They are asking locals to check their property and any home security or business surveillance footage that they may have. The FBI has set up a website where residents of Montezuma may upload any video they have from May 27th that might have Xavier on it, or anything important that could provide leads to the investigation. The link for that is down in the description box if you are a local and think you have something beneficial. An Amber Alert was not issued when he disappeared because police do not believe this to be a criminal incident, and he doesn't really fit the criteria for an Amber Alert. I have repeated this over and over in my videos, but I'm going to say it again. For an Amber Alert to be issued, the missing child must fit certain criteria. There has to be reasonable belief that an abduction has occurred and that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. And they have to have a description of the suspect and the suspect's vehicle, which in Xavier's case, they do not have, unfortunately. Police have not yet done any kind of press conference or update for the public either, which I think is odd. Normally with missing kids, they tend to do that, but as of right now, they have not. I do want to say that just because family isn't doing news interviews every day does not mean they are guilty of something. Plenty of people refuse to talk to media and are completely innocent, while plenty of guilty people will jump at the chance for an interview to make themselves look like they are just so concerned. So I know a lot of people are attacking the mom because she isn't putting herself out there, but maybe she's afraid of saying the wrong thing or being accused of not being emotional enough, or she could be so worked up and distraught that maybe she can't speak. She may know that once she's in front of a camera and she has to talk about her boy, she'll be a blubbering mess. I'm not sure, but there are a lot of people going after her on social media, and there's just lots of drama, it seems, and things being said. His mom is saying stuff she shouldn't as well. Sorry to say that, but she is. But fighting on social media is not productive in finding Xavier. Everyone is entitled to opinions. You know, I normally express mine, but you can have an opinion or a theory without being an asshole. Xavier's mom, Sarah, did state in a Facebook post that Xavier is scared of the dark. He gets cold easily. He can't walk very far because it hurts his back, and he wasn't allowed to go past their row of trailers in the mobile home park. So I take that as she doesn't think he ran away. It was really chilly out in Montezuma on the evening of the 26th and morning of the 27th, so I myself don't think he would have just left either, especially in just a t-shirt and PJ pants. And from what I understand, he was pretty good about not going further than he was allowed to go. There are so many possibilities. Xavier could have left of his own accord, fed up with the fighting at home. He could be hiding out somewhere with someone, just taking a break from his home life. He could have taken off walking, and something could have happened to him after he left the home. He could have been picked up. There could have been an incident or accident inside the home. I don't know if he was a gamer or if he had access to the internet, so I'm unsure if he could have met up with someone he met online. I don't believe he had a cell phone with him that could be tracked. Who knows at this point? There's a lot of missing information when it comes to this case. When did his mom last see him? Was it the night before? Did she see him go to bed and that was it? Then he was gone by morning? Or did she see him the next day? Who supposedly saw him on his bike at 11 a.m.? His family is not telling the public, and law enforcement isn't either. Although police aren't releasing what they know, if anything, I have a feeling they are aware of a lot more than they are saying, and they are just waiting for someone to slip up or for more proof to come about. But hopefully we'll know something soon. I am trying to be neutral and unbiased, so I'm not going to give my thoughts on this one right now because I really don't know what to think, though I will admit I don't have a good feeling about it. I hate saying that, and I'm trying to keep hope this will have a happy ending. I do, however, want to see what you all think, so let me know in the comments. I will likely be doing an update video on this one as more information comes in. Hopefully it will be good news. Hopefully Xavier was just mad at his mom and he is staying with someone just to kind of get away for a while, but if someone does have him, they need to come forward because they can be in a lot of trouble for harboring him. Xavier was last known to be wearing a red t-shirt, blue pajama pants, and black high-top shoes. He has brown hair and blue eyes, and he is about 4 foot 8 inches tall and 100 pounds. He is a lot smaller than he looks in the pictures, y'all. He is about the same height and weight as my youngest daughter, and she's not very big, so Xavier is just a little guy. The sheriff has announced that local residents and several businesses have pulled together enough money to offer a $15,000 reward for information that leads to finding Xavier, and that amount will likely increase as the community continues to donate. Hopefully that money will entice someone out there to come forward with whatever information they know. If you see Xavier or have any information on his whereabouts or what has happened to him, please call 911 immediately or the Poweshiek County Sheriff's Office at 641-623-5679. It's been over 2 weeks, which is super scary when anyone is missing, but especially so when it's a child. Please share Xavier's flyer. As usual, it is linked below. Share this video if you think it will help, and please keep Xavier's friends and family in your prayers. As always, I mean no harm in doing these videos. I am simply trying to spread awareness, and if you would like to support me, please consider giving this video a like and hitting that subscribe button. It's free to do, and it helps me know these cases are being seen. I upload a new video every single week, so I would highly suggest checking out my entire missing playlist, as each case I cover is super important and deserves more exposure. I appreciate you all being here. You really don't know how much it means to me that there are others out there that care about bringing the missing home as much as I do. We have to keep their faces out there. Someone out there knows what happened to Xavier. Perhaps even someone watching this video. So will you be the one who looks away or the one who does something about it? I'll see you all next week.